Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I'd like to say all praises due to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to you brothers teaching in truth and sincerity. Alright, it's Tyler Yoff coming back once again. Okay. And I've been up since earlier this morning, around 2 o'clock. And before I went to bed last night, around 11:30, somebody texted me and said Iran had did a missile strike. Not Iran, but Israel Salaki had did a missile strike. Now, Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. What's going to happen now is an escalation. Okay. For how long? Who knows? But this is it. We're at the door of World War III. 11 other countries have signed on to the digital ID system. Australia being one of many to come. You know, and it's being played out just as it was foretold in scriptures. You know, this is not going to be a long video, but this is just, you know, certain things that are pointing at prophecy is about to be fulfilled. All right, and sure as we got, you know, the war to end all wars, World War III, popping off. All right, it's time of Jacob's trouble. It's right there. You know, Scott Ritter, which I'll probably grab that video too. Just a couple of minutes of it, you know. But with this escalation happening over there, it's going to be some turned down events over here. All right. So let me just grab this.
Right. The Russian defense minister announced in a letter to the U.S. Department of Defense that if Israel launches a retaliatory strike against Iran, Russia will also participate in the Iranian attack on Israel. And here's why that's a problem, okay? Iran, since 2 years ago, has since sought to purchase Russia's more capable S-400 system. Some variants of the S-400 are equipped with radars that can defeat stealth technology used by modern warplanes. Russia has deployed the S-400 to protect its military bases in Syria, and the batteries constitute a potentially lethal threat to the U.S. and Israeli military aircraft. When delivered, not if, okay, the new Russian anti-aircraft missiles and the anti-stealth systems deployed to protect underground bases carved in the Rocky Mountains would assuredly make Iranian airspace a more dangerous place. Moscow is also reaping benefits from the collaboration, intelligence officials said. In addition to the thousands of drones procured from Iran, Russia agreed late last year to purchase about $2 billion worth of additional military goods, including anti-drone defensive systems that have become a top priority for Russian generals in Ukraine. And of course, Iran has separately agreed to sell Russia surface-to-surface missiles for use in Ukraine. So let's see what those drones are capable of. Variants of the jet-powered drones, dubbed the MS-237, the Shahed-238, and the Shahed-236, were described as having a maximum speed of about 400 miles per hour, people. About 3 times faster than previous iterations of Iranian drones. This is essentially a new-age cruise missile, people. And the test apparently helped cement an agreement to acquire more than 600 of the Iranian-designed drones, people. The documents also describe protracted negotiations over how Russia would pay for the drones, with at least 2 installments coming in the form of gold bullion valued at about $140 million. Do keep in mind, the BRICS nations are declaring that their currency is going to be backed by gold, actual natural resources, while the U.S. relies on weapon trade. So you tell me who's going to win in that battle. But I'm telling you right now, if I was Israel, I would hold back on my attack, especially considering the fact that Israel kind of started everything, and this violence needs to stop immediately. Is anybody even aware of how the war in Ukraine even started? Because I'm going to tell you right now, there were 7 initial attacks launched by Russia in specific locations. Those locations might or might not have had specific labs in those areas. I'm sure we all know what those labs were used for. People have to think of the bigger picture here. They have to think outside the box. You have to wonder to yourself, why is the U.S. putting Russia on a pedestal? Because Putin and Russia might have ruined their plans. By the way, this is for educational purposes only, so I don't get issued a motherfucking violation. But I'm telling you right now, if Russia intervenes, this shit is about to get serious. And I can almost guarantee that World War III is over the horizon. But see, that's what happens when the Western influence gets involved. And I don't really understand why anybody's patriotic for this country to begin with. Are you all unaware of the fact that this country's leaders kind of leave their veterans in the ditches anyway? While they hand billions of dollars out to nations of which we previously had foreign conflicts and affairs with? I mean, people, wake the fuck up. War is obviously a facade, and every single soldier that resides out of America is obviously a pawn in a chess game that should have been folded up years ago. But Americans are so damn dull-minded that they can't actually think for themselves.
So, there you got it. All right. He made a lot of points at the end as well. All right, about this country not taking care of its military, which, you know, these officials here in Babylon the Great, they're just money hungry clods, okay? Not righteous, they're not upstanding, they're hypocritical, all right, to say the least. And they'll throw their own mother down the stairs for $1, okay? So that's one aspect, but you see Ezekiel 38 is about to play out, okay? They're doing these strikes with a country that Vladimir Putin, you know, any place he has business dealings with, all right? And way back, I think at the end of the early 2000s, maybe 2000, I can't remember, but, you know, Iran had made a deal with Putin, you know, to get their nuclear program up and running, and it came to fruition, all right? Even though they're not making nuclear weapons, they say, but he brought Iran into a position where they can have facilities over there. And when I say that, I mean reactors, you know, to fuel their country. You know, with electricity and such. Another thing is, let me get this. Now that we're seeing this play out, okay? There you have it, military helicopters going over as we speak. That's what that sound is in the background. Okay. Shalaki. Let me get this video real quick. So this was before, you know, Israel, you know, retaliated, was struck back against Iran this morning. This was yesterday, all right, that this conversation was going on between this guy Jimmy Dore Show and Scott Ritter, which is a UN weapons inspector / ex-military, so on and so forth, all right? But he made a key point that points to 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter, as well as the 15th chapter. But I'm gonna let him, this guy speak, because the next person that he's going to read what they sent into the show, or on the wire, the news wire, got played out. Okay, that's a part of prophecy. It's not of the man, but it's of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. He's orchestrating all this.
Yesterday, Sunday the 14th of April, breaking news: confrontation with Iran is not over yet, says Israeli Defense Minister. The confrontation between Iran and Israel is not over yet, Israel's Defense Minister said on Sunday following Tehran's attack on Israel the previous night. Quote, the state of Israel was attacked with hundreds of missiles in unmanned aerial vehicles, and the Israeli Defense Force thwarted the attack in an impressive manner, Gallant said, urging Israelis to remain alert and attentive to the instructions published by the IDF and Homefront Command. The defense minister stressed that Israel must be prepared for every scenario. Together with the United States and additional partners, we managed to defend the territory of the state of Israel. Very little damage was caused. This is the result of the IDF's. This is exactly what we were just talking about, right? So this is the story they're giving. The story is that we won this. Iran didn't do anything. It was a glancing blow, and so let me just. Here's what David Sachs he tweeted this out. These are the two possibilities that could happen. Israel strikes back hard. The regional war begins. The U.S. gets dragged in to help Israel, not with boots on the ground, but in every other way. Netanyahu was comfortable with the scenario, or he wouldn't have bombed the Iranian embassy on April 1st. Hawks in Washington, who have sought war with Iran for 2 decades.
And now we're about to see this play out, all right? Because the strike did happen, and this is gonna prolong that reign of Benjamin, not a Jew. All right, America has backed Israel. All right, with the attack from Tehran. Said hundreds of drones were shot down by military ships, the U.S., okay, along with the Iron Dome. And the strike still was a success on behalf of Iran, okay. So this is why you have the dome completely failed by Scott Ritter, and this information was brought out by that brother Elder Karatazat, okay, of the Las Vegas camp. And what you're seeing is about to be the boiling point. All right. So we're at that time where the time of Jacob's trouble is gonna get ready to ensue, and that's why I pulled this up. All right. So the strike has happened. It has happened. Okay. And now a combination of things are about to link up and get rocking and rolling, so to speak. Okay. And Ezekiel 38 is the framework was in play. Now the battery is installed. Okay. So now we're gonna start seeing that war engine get geared up. As well as, as the other video I played, this guy said Ukraine is still trying to go at Russia hard body, and they have joined NATO. So that's a different war on another front. Putin has troops in Syria. All right, so we're about to see some things going down shortly. But I'm gonna let Scott Ritter take it.
Are euphoric. Both Ukraine and Israel get funding, but U.S. stockpiles are already stretched thin, so hard trade-offs must be made. In particular, there just aren't enough air defense missiles to go around. Both wars go from bad to worse, and Biden loses in November, or Biden tells the Israelis not to retaliate, using all of his leverage to make them stand down. The choice should be obvious, but Biden may not be capable of executing option 2, so war it is. What do you think? How you think now? But Biden it's already been public that he said he's not going to go on the offensive against Iran.
And option 2 is no longer an option. Like I said, the missile strike ensued on Friday, April 19th. Okay. Their time. All right. It was already Friday, April 19th. In their hemisphere. Okay. Israel and Iran's hemisphere.
But he will help Israel defend from incoming. What do you think is going on, and what's going to happen with Biden?
Well, the option 1 that he put up there dealt primarily with American domestic prerogatives, meaning what America will do, etc. They're missing a point in that analysis. Understand that right now Benjamin Netanyahu has lost the confidence of his country, his cabinet, his war cabinet, his ministers. in any normal nation, he would be tossed out on his ear. But also that if he gets tossed out, he'll be arrested immediately, charged with corruption. He has indictments hanging over his head, put on trial. He'll lose that trial and will spend the rest of his life in jail. He's 76 years old in poor health. It's a death sentence to go to jail for him. His only chance to stay in power is to have Israel stay at war. Israel has lost Gaza. Understand that. Everybody needs to understand that they have lost the Gaza conflict. And if he accepts the ceasefire that he's being pressured to accept, that's an admission of defeat, and he will be kicked out of office. His only chance to stay viable is to have a broader conflict, a broader war. The broader war with Iran does a couple things. One, it keeps him in power as the wartime leader. Two, it changes the entire discussion about what's going on in the Middle East right now. For all the people out there in the street demonstrating for Palestine right now, and I applaud them all, I really do. But what happens when the price of oil, the price of gas at the pump goes from $4 where it is right now to $12, to $15, to $20? What happens when there's no food? And do you remember the trucker crisis that we had last year?
Yes.
Where in Long Beach, and how suddenly shelves were empty and there was no food because the truckers weren't getting it there? What happens when there's no diesel gas? The trucks can't run, nothing gets delivered, the shelves are empty. What happens when all these Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck suddenly see all the prices go insane, their paycheck doesn't alter, they miss their mortgage, they suddenly are homeless in the streets? All these people that are demonstrating for Palestine will be worrying about something totally different, which is their individual survival. And this is what the Iranians fear, this is what the Palestinians fear. Right now, Iran's winning the war. They've turned the tables on Israel. The Houthi are strangling Israel. The Palestinian cause is being heralded everywhere. Israel has been turned into a pariah nation. But if Israel flips the script now, this becomes a larger battle between Israel and Iran, and there's now an energy crisis, a global energy crisis. That's the problem that needs to be solved.
So there you have it. Okay. And that's gonna man, call out your how about Shem Shot, man. Okay. And like we said before, all right, through the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and affiliate camps, like me and the brother DeBar, all right, we we know it because for years that's what we were taught and shown through the scriptures by the elder apostles and the elders on down, man. Okay, and that's a part of the song, man. Okay, how hard it's gonna get, and this thing is not gonna be a cakewalk like other groups believe it to be. All right, but let me just get a couple of scriptures, and then that'll be it. Okay. And that was right on time. All right, these Edomites think that their inward house is gonna go on forever, man, but it's not. All right, they didn't live the best times of their life, and now it's up. All right, it's never gonna come back. Okay. Let me get this. Salaki. Alright, this is Psalms 49 and 11. It says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling place to all generations. They call their lands after their own name. Right? And, you can see that with this fool over there, Benjamin, not a Jew. Alright? He wants that legacy that he has planned out in his head to reign forever. And then you have the regular Edomite as well, okay, that does the same thing. Now, I'm not talking about the regular Joe Smo Edomite, but, the upper echelons, the elites of Esau Edom. They do the same thing. That's why they have these bunkers, okay? And going into that, you see in the NLT, it says the grave is their eternal home. where they will stay forever. They may name their estates after themselves. Verse 12 in the NLT, it says, but their fame will not last. They will die just like animals. All right? And that's what's getting ready to happen. Now, going back into, let's just grab it right here. Ezekiel 38 chapter. Like I said, the attack has already happened, right? Let me see. Verse 4, Ezekiel 38 and 4, and it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thy enemy, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. All right, so we about to get down. About to get down over there, okay? You got Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his band, which is Gomer, is I can't remember right off the top. It's on the tip of my tongue. Gomer and Tergamah, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Tergamah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Turkey. Okay, that's who Tergamah is. Gomer and Tergamah, I believe. And many people with thee. But thou prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a God unto them. Verse 7, it says in NLT, get ready, be prepared, keep all the armies around you mobilized, and take command of them. And that's what Vladdy's doing, okay? Getting ready to rock and roll over there, okay? You see the signs. You heard the first video that I played with the guy, you know, saying that the business venture is going to culminate in Russia helping Iran attack Israel, okay? So we see all these signs coming to fruition, and the ultimate thing that's going to happen, which Israel already knows, okay? It's going to get that special treatment by that nuke, okay, from Iran, okay? And believe me, if they had them S-400s and the rest of those missiles like the man was putting out in the first video I put out, the TikTok video, then it's going to be a realization, man, okay? So you're about to see those famous mushroom clouds very shortly, all right? And thus, like it says, all right, let me get 2 scriptures and that'll be it. Go to the Apocrypha. And like Scott Ritter was saying, you know, it's going to be an increase in prices, man, on the pump. And that's what is going to kill America. Because the trucking industry is the blood of America. Okay, that's how goods and services get around. You know, and that's just going to put this place in a downward spiral. All right, no goods and services. And it says that in scripture that the just shall live off faith. So, hey, man, that's the only thing we're going to have, man, in these days that's coming up. So, let me grab these 2 scriptures. Revelation 11 and 14, it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that's, it's going to be just like that, a blink of an eye, all right? And we're at the threshold of it, all right? Because at first we was hearing wars and rumors of wars because of the proxy wars and things that they have over there in that country or in that region. I'll say that. Not in that country, but in that region. Okay? And now it's about to be on and popping. Let me get this second Ezra. Let's go there. It's lucky I'm all over the place, but there's a story to tell. Second Ezra 15 and 12, it says, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. Okay? So a famine is considered a plague. Okay? Because you heard him. He said, it's no food on the shelves. All right? Damn, the car's moving, but another pestilence in itself would be homelessness. Okay? And that's what we're getting ready to see too, on a big scale. All right, people living in cars because it's going to be cheaper than living in an apartment. But that's when all hell terror is going to break loose on the earth. All right, what you're going to see is cars abandoned, littered everywhere, basically. And this is where Walmarts will turn into martial law centers, and because it's something on the books that's coming, and it's starting in Oregon. Lord's will, I have a chance to do a video on that, but they're really trying to say that homelessness will become a federal crime or a state crime. Okay. Because it's going up to the Supreme Court where they're determining if they can lock up homeless people. So there go your encampments. Okay, let's go over here. 16. Second Ezra 16 and 18 says, the beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. All right, so that's what's getting ready to come down the pipe, accompanied with the third woe. Okay, so all these things are going to be happening at one time. The time of Jacob's trouble is going to be happening. The third woe. Pestilence in the land, the famine, all right, all hell and violence, okay, and rightly so, because it says this. Let's grab this. What a movie. What a movie. It's Revelation 18 and 21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall the great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. All right, so this place is going to get the rocking and rolling when the missiles come over, okay? When the missiles start hitting other places in the earth, like I said, Israel is slated to be burned up, okay? And who has the fire for that? Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, first of all, but Iran's going to put that smoke on their ass, man, okay? And they ain't going to be able to get from under it, all right? So, hey, this is the final curtain call right here, okay? The end is coming, but it's not yet, all right? Because we still have to go through these birth pains, so to speak. So, with that, I want to say all praises due to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, Bashem Rakakadash, Shalom.